Hello and welcome to my knitting podcast. My name is Irma and you can find me on YouTube, Ravelry and Instagram as Wolwerkjes. As I said, a knitting podcast. I think we're on episode... I really don't know which episode we're on. Quite some. I think I started this podcast somewhere in September last year. So every 2 weeks there has been an episode and I talk here about my knitting and all the other things I make and craft. The first thing I talk about every week is what I'm wearing when it is a handmade item, and I'm wearing 2 handmade items now. You can only see one now because this one is quite big. It's my sheep shawl. I wear it quite a lot, and when you want more details you have to go back a few episodes. The other item that is handmade today is the dress I'm wearing. You can only see the top part now. I will stand up so you can see it a little better, I hope. It's a fitted dress, not really that complicated. There were only 3 seams to make, the side seams and one at the back. Of course the neckline and the edge at the bottom and the armholes needed hemming. I'm really happy with how this dress fits, and also with the fabric I chose. The fabric I chose together with a friend of mine. We went to a fabric shop and we bought some things because I wanted to make things, and this is one of them. It's a black, a little bit thicker. I think it's a double knit fabric. It's stretchy, so I didn't need to put in a zipper or anything. It's just stretchy and you can put it right on and it fits like pajamas. It fits so nice. I'm going to make a lot of these dresses. They're really, really nice and I love wearing this one. It's a little bit chilly over here, but I don't want the whole picture to be a scarf. So I think this is okay. So that is a dress I made and I'm really, really proud of it. It really is a nice thing to wear. I used a free pattern and I downloaded it from a website with lots of patterns, but I don't know which one anymore because it was quite a while ago. I was just looking for some easy patterns and this one came up. It's by The Littlest Studio and she also has a website and I think you can find the pattern there. And I wasn't able to find it correctly on my phone, but I think when you're looking the site on just a normal computer that you will be able to find the pattern. It's free, it's a print, PDF print, so you print it out, you put all the pieces together, you cut it out, and when you cut it out you have your pattern and you can work with it. And as I said, I'm not I can sew quite some things, but I don't have that much experience with different kinds of fabric, and this was the first time I made a stretchy fabric work just right, so really nice. Okay, so those were the things I'm wearing, and now we go to finished objects. One of the finished objects is an old one, but I forgot to show you every time because it wasn't around and I didn't want to grab it, but I have it here right now. It's also a sewing project and it's a jumper for my smallest son, and it's a sweater with elephants and he loves wearing it. He's so happy every time he sees it. He says olifant, which is elephant in Dutch. It's really funny. It has ribbed neckline and bottom, and also the cuffs at the sleeves are with a rib. Also a really easy pattern. This one was out of the October magazine. I don't know how you say it. I will put it down here. I don't know if it's available in every country. I think it's a Finnish, I'm not sure. German, Finnish, I don't know, somewhere there. It's the brand, and here in Holland we have a Dutch version as well. And I fell in love with this fabric. He's so cute. And I'm going to make a lot of these because they're really easy, and when it gets warmer they can wear it as a outside garment, and in wintertime they can wear it as a just normal clothing, so that is really nice. It has been finished for quite some time. There's also a stain in it I can't get out anymore, but that is what you get when you have children. Another finished object. Not really, yeah, it's a finished object. I got my spinning wheel this week, last weekend. It's a birthday present from quite some people that put some money together, including my husband. And he said the coming weekend we have quite some things to do. So he said, well, it's for your birthday, but do you want to pick out a spinning wheel today? And I was like, yes, I will. Oh, I've been looking forward to a new, nice working spinning wheel. And I did already research online because I already knew I wanted one. I didn't know I would get one from for my birthday, but I knew I wanted one. So I already know what I was looking for, and we came home with the Ashford Kiwi 3, and I will see if I can put in a video where I make some close-ups of my wheel. If you don't see the video here, it won't be I wouldn't have time to make that video, but there will be in a future episode. So this is my Ashford spinning wheel, and the model is the Kiwi 3. And what makes this one different from the Kiwi 2 is that you can flip over the pedals, so it's easier to store and it's easy to assemble, so you have it ready to spin. I'm no expert, but I think it's the standard bobbin size they use, and I'm so really happy with it. It is a 2-treadle, so you can use both your feet to move the wheel, and it's really comfortable to use, and it's also very easy to adjust the speed you're working with, so that's very nice. This is the fiber I'm spinning at this moment, and I'm not even halfway through, I think. It's really fun to do. It's a really nice wheel. I bought the unfinished one, so the plain wood, and I oiled it before I put it together to protect the wood a little and to make it wood can dry out. So that's why I oiled it, and I will just keep oiling it every periods of time and for the maintenance. The old wheel I borrowed a few months back was really crappy. I think I could have fixed some things, but this is so effortless now that I was like, oh, I can quite I'm quite an okay spinner. And when I was working on the other wheel, I was like, oh, I really need to practice a lot because this is not going well. But now I really know it was the spinning wheel and not me that was that was having problems. So that's really nice. There is a project on the wheel right now. I will put in a picture of the bobbin. I'm not going to take it off now because I know that when I take it off I have to put it back on, and I always have the problem that a lot of the fiber I already spun will get untwisted when I do that, and it will be really annoying to make it right, and it will be always less neat than when I just keep it on the spinning wheel until I finished it. So you will see that when I finished spinning it. But I did a test run. There came some fiber with the wheel just as a sample, and I used it to test my wheel and get to know my wheel, and this is the result. I told everybody it looks like the kind of string you put on meat when you want to tie your meat together. It looks like that because it's also white and red, but I'll I will make something out of it. I don't know what yet, but it was just to get to know my wheel. And I also know that I need to put in a little bit more spin to make it for my liking. It's quite balanced. It's not set yet. I didn't wash it yet, but you can see it's a really balanced yarn. It's not twisting up on itself, but yeah, as I said, for my liking it's a little bit too loose, so I know I will have to put in a little bit more spin in my singles to make a balanced yarn with more twist. But that's nice to know up front instead of after your first really nice fiber project and you noticed, oh, this isn't yarn I'm going to use. So that's nice. And I think the project I'm working on now will be an Navajo 3-ply. I really like to make Navajo 3-plies because you can use up all your spun yarn. And when you make a traditional 3-ply, I always have the problem that there's more yarn on one of my bobbins than on the others, and I always have leftovers, and I don't like leftovers. So that's that. And I have more finished objects, and those are a birthday present. I'm not going to say for whom, and I don't think they watch, but if they watch and they see this, they don't know what I'm going to put in these. So there will be still a surprise for their birthday. And I made 2 little bags out of a really nice, fun fabric, and they're both from the same fabric, but I cut it differently. So one is more blue and the other one is more the orange and the pink, and they're drawstrings, so you can just open them up. On the inside, of course, always the grey polka dots in my designs, and you can just tie them up, and I think they're really, really cute. So those were finished objects. Now works in progress. I have the spinning on the wheel, as I said, so that's one of my works in progress, but I can't show you real time. I can only maybe put a video or a picture in to show you that, and I think I've already done that. So you've already seen it. It's one of my works in progress, and I made the stuffed animals for my eldest son and for his teacher who gets a baby who's pregnant, and my youngest son also deserves one. So I started the third and for some time the last of the little toys, but I made already 2 of these in 2 weeks and I was a little bit done with it. So it will be finished. Those are the colors I'm using. I already made the piece that's going to be his mouth, and I just need to put it on in a little time to just finish it. But I was a little bit done with it, so it's a little bit in a short hibernation. Wat doe je, schatje? My cat, I don't know what he is doing. I don't know if you can see, but he thinks he can climb on the wall or something. He's not able to, but he tries. So, works in progress. Work in progress. And another work in progress is my sweater I was working on. The name will be underneath because I'm not going to pronounce it. Oh, by the way, this is the fiber I'm spinning. I bought this in the natural grey and white of the merino sheep, a grey merino sheep, and silk, that's the white, and I dyed it myself with some pops of color, but I didn't want to over dye it completely because I really love the natural grey of this fiber, and this is what I'm spinning at the moment, and it's working really fine. But that was not the thing I wanted to show you. I will stand up and show you. So, back again. Work in progress. The sweater, I just forgot to take it with me when I started recording. The week before, because I record every 2 weeks, not every week. I already showed this. This is the front piece and the back piece, and the shoulder seams are already put together with a 3 needle bind off, which is really fun to do and gives you a nice seam-like finish. And this week, these 2 weeks, I finished both the sleeves, so I have 2 sleeves. And what has to happen now is that I set in the sleeves and close the side seams and knit the collar, the neckline, because it has quite a high neck, and not a turtleneck, but also it's quite high. It's a little turtleneck, maybe. And what I need to do is put the sleeves in, close the side seams and knit a neckline. But I think I'm going to do it the other way around. So first knit the neckline and then put everything together, because it will add weight to the total sweater and it will be harder to turn around. But I didn't look at the pattern yet for the neckline, and it has buttons up front, so I think maybe it will be worked flat and then it doesn't really matter if I put in the sleeves first. But we will see about that. I am quite sure that next time I record this will be a finished object. In the main part, so the front and the back pieces, you have a lace pattern that is repeated 3 times here, so you have 3 of those pieces going up, and on the sleeves they put just 1 of those repeats to get it in the sleeve but not being too much, and I think that's quite nice. And I'm both looking forward and a little bit hesitating to put it together. I really want it to be finished and done so I can wear it, and that's making me happy. I also know this is quite an oversized sweater and it will be a lot of sewing together. And that can be quite annoying, but it will be okay. I will have a finished sweater in 2 weeks, for sure. So those were my finished objects. Another thing I forgot everything to take down. I'm a little bit of a hurry because I have to be somewhere. So I was like, oh, I'll just record now and then I'll be finished and I know what time I have left to do other things. But I forgot to take everything with me. I had quite a good day of yarn dyeing the past week, and I made a color. I don't know how I'm going to call it yet. You will see the pictures popping up on Instagram somewhere in the coming weeks, and it's a really nice color, and I think it's with pinks and reds, and it's all like within the same color scheme. It's all within the same range of colors, but I really like it. And as soon as it was out of my dye pot, I was like, I want a boxy out of this color. So I'm going to dye up a little bit more, so there will be in the shop as well as for myself, and I will knit myself a boxy. I've been hesitating if I wanted to make a boxy because you hear different sounds about it. Everybody is really happy with how it fits, and I think it's a pattern that's flattering for a lot of people and a lot of body types. But you also hear lots of people say, oh, it was a lot of knitting stockinette in the round. And I don't mind knitting stockinette in the round, but I can see that it is something that can be a little bit boring over time. Not boring, but sometimes you want to tease your mind a little bit more, to have a little bit more of sometimes you want a project that takes a little bit more brain power. So what I was thinking, I'm going to knit the boxy out of this color because I think it's a really good match, and I think I'm gonna love it in the coming spring and summer. But I also have to choose a pattern with a little bit more, that's a little bit more complicated and that takes a little bit more brain power. And I think this pattern will be the shawl with the flowers. Oh my gosh, I'm really bad prepared for this. I'm going to make the shawl from the latest Laine issue 7, as I have been talking about the last couple of weeks. It's going to be the grey shawl with the flower-like cable pattern on it. I will put the name of the pattern underneath. It's a pattern by Moonstruck Knits, and I will take a class of her in May. So it will be nice to have knitted one of her patterns, I think. So that will be on the needles, and I'm not sure yet which color I'm going to use, but I think it will be a good idea to have those together on the needles. So I have a little bit more easy knit in the boxy, and I have a little bit project which require a little bit more brain power in the shawl. So I think those will be a great combination together. And those are my future plans. I don't know how far I have I don't know how far along I am in next episode, and maybe something else will come up in the meantime, but those are the things I will cast on next, for as far as I can think now. So that's something. Next episode will be in 2 weeks, but we'll have to see how that one is looking. We're going away for a few days to an island in the Netherlands. We do have some islands here, and the island is called Texel, and this island is famous for his sheep, and they have their own breed of sheep, which is called Texelaar, or Texels schaap, and sometimes they just call it by the name of the island, which is Texel. And of course I'm going to see them myself, but I'm thinking of taking the camera and make a little bit of footage for you, so you can see those sheep, and maybe some other things on the island which are nice to show you. And we are coming back on my... Well, I have to see how I'm going to record, on which day I'm going to record, and how I will fit everything in. But for you it's not that big of a difference, because I hope I will get the footage up as usual on the Sunday. So not much difference for you, a lot of difference for me. I don't know why I'm telling you this. The only thing I want to say is maybe there will be a little bit of extra footage in the next episode about the island we're going to visit. And I think that's really nice, especially because the island is so famous for his sheep. So that will be something to look forward to. For now, thank you for watching. Excuses for the unprepared me and all the nonsense I've been telling you. And I will see you within 2 weeks. Bye!